It is.
And that brings us up to session number 100. So 100 sessions they've been allowing me to tell them how many bad things happen to their characters on a regular basis.
100 sessions of Martin dealing with our bullshit. I mean, that's kind of the more accurate way to say it.
Well, I was trying to be nice about you.
I'll dig myself a hole.
Well, now you can play out of it.
Hey.
So we are also down as Phase 3, Season 1, Episode 11, which is a nice smaller number to deal with. And it is also Friday the 13th, which is one of those wonderful coincidences. How many bad things have happened to Josh tonight?
Everything in the real world sucks. Don't make this suck too.
Don't worry, I won't make you a vampire.
No, just half the party is already. Don't mind that.
We got fixed. However temporarily that might be.
Is that where I point out that I have rules on vampirism that are unique?
Yeah, I was about to say in quotation marks fixed.
So, with today's session, we have at the table, we have start off with Gary.
Hi, everyone.
Introduce your character.
Oh, okay. I thought you did last week.
I do that every session, so if someone jumps in or you forget.
Oh, Anton, a scrawny young man who's been travelling with Drazel and is really quite pleased with this because I got a huge amount of wealth for doing sweet FA. So I'm actually quite pleased with this. Not the most appealing person to look at. Is now holding a staff that's bleeding everywhere, and that's something I want to try and solve that problem. But otherwise, I have my face is marred by a scar on my left cheek, and dull black scales cover my hands, and I have a tiny dragon that flies nearby.
And I'm sure there are many comments we can add, but we won't because it's not necessarily adults only.
And I'm Treladaran.
Yeah. Then we have Izzy at the table.
Hey, I'm playing Samir, the formerly gothed out Sky Elf, who's now got bright rainbow wings, armor and hair, and cotton candy wands. That's going to be very interesting.
Oh, hey. Cotton candy really is sticky.
Yeah, look.
It works just as well as a normal web, with just less connotations.
Yeah, that's great. Well, and worst comes to worst, and we're all a bit hungry, I'll just throw it out, and
it's a
we'll
way to
get a sugar
entertain.
rush.
Good way to entertain the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids rushing this way. Here, look, kids. Zap.
They're stuck, they're sticky, they're happy. It's fine.
Online today we have Josh.
Hello, I'm Josh. I play Cheval.
I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
I can't do it on this headset. It sucks. Paladin!
I thought Martin deliberately muted you.
Yes, and I.
Hey man, can you say it, Paladin?
I can technically do
Well
that.
done. So Cheval's a big belly fire genasi paladin. Fiery-headed, is worshipping the Lord Tubak, who may or may not have something to do with this mass war that's going on. Morales will be checked later.
Which may or may not be exactly responsible for insert into.
Yeah. Morales will be checked later.
And then it brings us to M. Assuming M's still there.
Hello! That's right, we'll just swap it between Josh and I because we're both on headsets until he is asleep. I am Zol, your level cleric wizard.
Failed Ranger.
Yeah, she can't say that yet, that's good. Yeah, syllables are there.
Getting closer.
We currently are we in the city where my love interest is, or
You are a couple of you're about a week's normal ride away from it.
We're in.
Oh right, okay, so we're not quite there yet. I know that it stopped for a shopping montage, and that's about the last thing I remember.
And that's what all my notes show.
And this is the first time I've left Terrell.
So I finally got a collar of flowing or well, yeah, slow death for my axe beak. so he may or may not die as quickly as getting dropped from a high height.
And then that brings us to Sue online as well. Hello, Sue. You're currently on mute.
Thanks, didn't realise I was on mute.
Well, I didn't hear you in return, so I paused, looked, and went, I'll comment on it.
Yeah, good, thanks. I'm Sue, I'm playing Mystara. She's a human ranger. She's a member of the Khan's family, but the poor cousins, so not in favour. She's only, as most of her relatives, the majority are only short, so she's 5 foot tall. She's
still taller than most of her family.
Sorry?
She's still taller than most of her family.
Yeah, she's now coming into her own abilities and understanding who she really is. Kamdu was her hero. She still holds Kamdu as her hero, but she no longer preaches this to others.
Considering you're starting to achieve things that Kamdu could not.
Absolutely. And she always, Imni also, she served as a mercenary, and so she learned battle skills and how to protect those who fight beside her. So for her, it's really important to protect all her friends.
Well, if you don't, who will?
Exactly. And that's me.
I am going to ask a question for everyone. What does your character want to achieve? So I will start with Sue.
What do I want to achieve?
What's the one thing that your character has gone out adventuring to do?
Make a name for herself and still protect those her friends, basically.
Okay, so Josh, what's the one thing your character wants to achieve?
He's just changing me out, so he can't answer right now.
That's okay. Then we'll ask M. What does Zal want to achieve?
You wouldn't have heard that, but Josh yelled out, "Be a ranger." No. Apart from that, he has learnt to accept his lot in life, but he now also has something to live for. So, one day after, hopefully saving the world, he might be able to settle down in the plains with his partner.
Okay. So what does Anton want to achieve in the world?
There's a bit of a list here, so I'm not sure where to begin.
What's one thing, say you achieved that would be where you'd go, that's not a bad point to retire on?
Overthrow the evil ruling oligarchy that runs Treladarin. Or at least some of it of Treladarin. I'm still pretty vague.
That will work. Sometimes you can't achieve them, sometimes you can.
Well, I've tried and failed already, so...
Okay, so Izzy, what is Samir's one major goal she wants to achieve?
I think Samir's major goal is actually more just like achieving change, either like for herself or more broadly for the elven people. She's come from such a quiet, you know, restricted life. She's just kind of open to whatever change she can experience at this point.
Well,
so the more the merrier. She's just happy to like.
The
someone wants to make her a vampire, great, let's do that. Someone wants to throw rainbow armor at her, also cool, let's do that. Like,
so the core god of the elves is about keeping everything as it was.
look, all right, Simir was the black sheep, literally dressed as such. Did not fit in that regard.
Which means you're probably well suited for a lot of the other gods who love to poke fun at the elven god.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, I don't want the elves to die. I'm not keen on the on the master coming and wiping them out, but they definitely could use a bit of a shake-up of the system because it's too much of the same old, I think.
Yes, there is a lot of stuff going on in the background. So you can actually look up the Wrath of the Immortals online and see what the official timeline was. Just that, to put it frank, I've ignored most of that and made it integrated into everything people are doing.
Mm.
So while it says stuff like that will happen at some point, but how it happens is really based on what the players do and who they tick off. The last bit being the most important part.
Yes, so that's going to be really important, I think.
Well, they can't necessarily defeat everything by just physical combat.
Mm.
And killing a minion of a powerful person might mean that that powerful person gets retribution in some way. Be it political, monetary, or just full-on violence. They do have all those aspects. So we are on the 14th day of the month, with the next day being the holy day of fire for the year.
So that's going to be really important for, is it Cheval?
It is.
Okay.
But if he's away from the table, he might miss it.
Okay. Alright, so he might miss having his fun holiday.
So what do you say to that one, Em? You said you recommend that as well? Nope, still on mute, so obviously stuff happening in the background there.
Paladin sounds good.
So I was just saying that it was the holiest day of the year for the Paladin is the next game day. Time to leave the city and ignore it?
I don't know, do we?
We can just tune our items on the trip and...
We're still shopping.
So we are still
be
shopping.
staying and then catching up to everyone later.
This is going to be the day that Paladin screams loudest.
Apparently, I don't know. Yeah, apparently I'm going to give me a hymnal today, so.
No, sorry.
Okay, so obviously there is a little bit of stuff happening in the background there that we'll worry about later. But hey, yes, you have been given a little bit of extra money to buy those things you wanted.
Yep.
Talking about you wanted a magic ring to make your life so much better.
Yeah, perfect.
Make your life so much better.
Yeah, exactly.
In what way?
Depending on the ring.
Non-specific, apparently.
Many rings do many things.
That's true.
And you can get everything from a ring to control other people and make them your servants.
Yeah, that's not really in the free spirit of what Samir is trying to push.
No. Called the Master Rings. Because you are a slave master.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's probably crossing a personal boundary, I think.
I completely agree, but it's there for the bad guys.
Oh, I understand.
And it's basically something that stops slaves from running away.
Yes.
If you're going to use magic to do stuff.
You might as well go all the way.
And if you destroy the ring, you destroy all the connected slave collars and you free all the slaves.
Ah. So
Convenient.
destroying master rings. Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
So that's partly why they're there, to give players incentive to destroy some items and keep others.
Mm.
So it's not as a, yes, you can now become a master of all those minions you've just decided to enlist into your evil cause.
Am I right in assuming that these master rings are rather difficult to destroy? You know, like trips to Mountain Doom, etc.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
The
That's
higher
good.
the rarity of the item, the more
harder it's destroyed.
effort has to be put into destroying
I
it.
don't want to go to Mount Doom anytime soon. Can we just skip Mordor?
I'm sure I can.
I heard Mount Doom was a pleasant place for a holiday. You know, it's nice and warm, has fire everywhere.
Got good views
Close to
too.
the sky.
Well, it's the old saying: you got to book in advance because no one just walks out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Using a
Should
movie
have
quote.
got the
Yep.
recognition.
Well, you got to poke fun at these things where you can.
One does not simply.
All right. Yes, you know exactly the lane. Flashbacks happening. Okay, so yes, it is the day before the festivities start for the Red Moon of summer, the major Red Moon. And there's a lot of talk in town about how a lot of fires are going to be set the next day, lots of festivities going on. And some of you are going, might be time to leave. Especially Audrey keeps putting his hand up, getting everyone to leave because on that day it's his weakest day of the year.
Oh, okay.
As a water type, he is more susceptible to magic on that day than any other time of the year.
Well, we could do a bit more of our work in actually looking after you on that one day. Because at the moment, I don't know. I kind of think we've got more. We've got more than we actually paid more than we worth, really.
Okay, so, and I was going to quickly look up a magical item for our flying person. Well, one of our flying people. We've got many flying people now.
Who else flies?
Chauvel also flies. He has wings.
Oh yeah, mine are pretty out.
Well, but he.
The angelic paladin who was not corrupted by vampirism.
Look, that just.
You-
Honestly, I think you should have just been open to new experiences.
You could have just enjoyed the high holy day and then catch us up later if you fly.
Okay, so
The thing is, I probably could catch up.
how much money is Samir happy to throw away on a ring?
Well, how much money are people willing to give me to throw away on a
yeah,
ring?
you
That
don't
was
know
the
that.
question.
Oh,
I was
haven't spent all
I
that
was offered additional funds for whatever I need. I would like a ring party.
That's okay. I got them up to 300,000.
Oh, cool. Well, I need to petition the party for additional gold, apparently.
happy to chip in once I finish
Anyone got
something.
any 300,000? No? Yes?
No.
No. Might be
Surprisingly not.
I'll be charitable.
No, no.
No, that's a touch extreme. Yeah, that's fair.
I'll give you some money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Zal offered. That's why I was like, okay, well.
Okay, so of all the rings that he used for, I'm just having a quick read through them now. Some of these are quite amusing. Like the Ring of Petty Vengeance.
I was really hoping you were going to say the Ring of Amusement. Very amusing.
Well, I find that one very amusing.
Yeah.
Not that I always inflict it upon people.
What about a ring of interesting visual effects? I don't know. Like illusions and dancing lights and things like that.
No, always good fun.
You see, when you fly around, you've always got this spectacular halo of lights and images.
I do have dancing lights as a cantrip.
Oh, you better do dancing lights already. Doesn't last very long from memory.
1 minute.
Yeah, probably cantrips don't last long.
Okay, so I do have a chromatic ring.
Hmm?
Many colours.
That fits it.
Chromatic is always a word that that spooks me in D&D, but yes, okay.
Seems to be made out of dragon scales merged together.
Oh. red, yellow, red, white, blue, black, and green. Is it?
Has all 5 colours.
All 5 colours. Yep.
Though technically there's more than 5 colours, but hey.
Okay. 10.
They can. The 5 colours are the core of it, and then they have variations.
Ah, lovely.
So when you merge colours together and then create another colour, that's a dragon who basically has feet in 2 camps instead of just one.
Mm.
And you can have a dragon with all colours. Sometimes they're grey, sometimes they're multicoloured.
Okay.
Lovely. Okay. And what
You
does...
don't want grey.
No. And what does this chromatic ring do?
Well, you can make it disappear on your hand.
Okay.
It's called a ring of invisibility.
Oh, it becomes invisible.
Okay.
That's what you bought it for, because it was called the invisible ring. So you got the invisible ring,
Yep.
and you can make it invisible with a thought.
Good. Alright. Excellent. My jewelry disappears on command. Cool. Alright, that's fine. It just needs to be a focus if I recall. So.
And while you're attuned to it, other creatures can't read your thoughts unless you allow it.
Ah, neat.
And for no reason whatsoever, it's always hot.
That's comforting. Like, painfully hot or just...
It's got the throbbing warmth coming through it,
Cool.
Even when it's invisible?
even when it's invisible.
Okay. Alright, I will... Guess we need to spend some time attuning items. It's not a feature of the game I'm familiar with, but...
You generally do it during a long rest, so overnight.
Cool. Alright. Because I have 3 things to attune, if I recall. Armor, wand, ring.
That they always come in handy.
Mm.
Of course, no one knows you're wearing a ring also comes in handy.
Could you use it as a focus if you can't see it?
I
Well,
can
he can
feel
still,
it.
He can still
You
use it
can
as a
feel
focus.
it. Ah, I get it. Yeah, yeah.
It's still in use.
Yeah.
It's just amusing that that's one of the traits of the item.
It just happens, just like, ah.
So I'm going to turn myself invisible. Bink! Not what I expected.
And that was a little too literal, but okay.
Well, we did have the character who bought the crossbow
Mm.
and wanted it heavy, so we got a heavy crossbow. So we got a short bow with rocks tied to it that was yelling insults at him.
Doing it.
He just wanted something simple, so he got something simple.
Mm.
It was also a simple weapon, so it basically achieved all his parameters in the statement of what he asked the guy for. That's the dangers of being specific.
Very good.
Okay, so
I think are we done with the ice door? Does anyone else need
I
to...
know. I wanted to do some ice store stuff. Still a lot of money.
Okay.
Burning a hole in my pocket.
any particular type of item you're looking for? Because I have a bigger list of stuff.
Well, I don't know whether it's appropriate to do it now. Maybe it's a further in track. But I wanted to try to figure out what's wrong with my staff. But that can be a future
That will
thing.
require time.
Okay, so I'll just walk around with a pool of drone, leaving a trail of blood behind me.
Causing absolutely no concern whatsoever, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Who
Who would be concerned by someone walking around with a trail of
I don't want to
blood?
draw attention to myself, and this is not the way to not draw attention to yourself. But anyway, I wanted to get a suit of armour. It doesn't need to be a suit. I'm not just wearing leather armour, so I wanted to upgrade on that. And then I wanted to blow everything on something really fun.
Please use those words when shopping.
Well,
Just
so yeah,
get a wonder fireworks.
appropriate suit of armour.
Okay, so there's lots of different armors available. There was the strip-off armor, the stripper armor.
The stripper armour.
Yep.
I don't see myself as. I don't see
You
myself.
can pull it off as a bonus action, no matter what sort of armor it is.
Yes.
Caraway.
Quick change.
I don't see myself as a performer, so
Which, if you know the rules well, that's the cast-off armor.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I refer to it as the stripper armor, so people understand what you're talking about.
Yeah.
There is the multiple different things available. How much money is your character willing to spend is the big question.
Well, I've got a lot left because I haven't really spent much. So, you know, I've got 7,250. I want maybe it's 250 on the armour and 7,000 on something fun.
Okay. Okay, considering you're trying to be inconspicuous, they offer you some armor to help you hide.
Oh, that sounds all right, yeah. 250, although I can only wear light armour, that's the catch.
So, what you do is while you're using a command word, and a fog cloud starts pouring out around you.
Well, okay, it's different, but I'll take it. We'll call it the
It's called the hide armor of fire.
hide armour of fire.
Yeah.
So it's not fog, it's smoke.
Yep. But they call it fog.
Hide armour.
Okay.
So it's just a suit of hide armour. I'm not sure I can wear hide armour.
It only sets you back 100 gold.
Oh, this is very 100. Okay. Hide armour. Oh,
Fire.
fire. Smoke. I'll put it in the inverted commas. I better check to see how I actually can wear
So it's the
things.
old smouldering armor, which is also a common set of armor.
Yeah.
But it's still magical, which means it automatically resizes to your body.
Okay. I don't think I'm that. I'm just a bit scrawny, really.
Which means it's always a perfect fit, no chafing.
Oh, okay, that's true. Very true. You want
Because
to-
if you don't get a perfect fit on some armors, then by the end of the day it's like, why is blood pouring out of the sockets?
Yeah,
Yep.
I know. Yeah. Hard to wear for them. I'll just see whether it's hide armour rated as light armour.
Hide
No,
armor
it's
is
rated
generally
as
medium.
medium. Okay, so I can't actually use it. You wouldn't have you wouldn't have this in just ordinary leather, or padded leather, rather than just in hide, or even.
Unless it does the I was gonna say, does the armor grant you proficiency in it?
Sometimes they do.
Oh, that's the
Yeah,
question.
that's better armour, but it's spending more money than I'm throwing at it.
But you don't know unless you try the armor. That's what they basically don't give you all the details until you buy it. Are you willing to splurge 100 coins on something that may or may not be useful?
Okay, I'll splurge 100 on something that may not work. And if it doesn't work, well, you know.
Okay, so you get the armor, and as you're holding it, it wraps itself around you.
Okay, so it chokes me.
Nope.
Just it is bonded to your flesh.
It's bonded to my flesh. Okay,
If it starts talking to you, call it venom.
okay, all right. Command word, and the smoke comes out.
What command word would you like it to listen to?
Okay, it's my command word, is it? I think about. I want something fun on this.
Would you like a light?
Are we done yet? No, I can't see through the smoke. I don't choke on the smoke, do I?
You do not.
Okay.
I can't say that anything about anyone else, but you don't.
Well, if someone says they don't like me bleeding everywhere, that's what I'll just say, are we done yet?
Now I'm smoking and bleeding. If you wanted to hide, you were going the wrong way around it.
Well, no one can see him while he's in the cloud.
I don't seem to be able to. I don't seem to be able to get what I asked for.
It's just
so
a rolling ball of smoke and blood.
I'll work out later whether I actually do anything while wearing hide armour. And then 7,000 something fun.
Okay, I will look up something fun.
I actually have 7,150. But
Congratulations.
I only spent 100 on that.
You have a pet purple worm.
Okay, where's my... Go back into it. Where's... Not that one. Having to find the right page is always fun. Okay, so what sort of item are you looking for? Just something fun?
Well, I suppose it'd be more like a weapon than anything else, probably, but it doesn't have to be. It's sort of like I've got a staff that bleeds everywhere. I probably can't use. I've got a rod that I can use. I've got a helm that I actually don't know what it does. I've got a charm. It's removed curse. I've got hide armor that I may not be able to wear that smokes everywhere, and I've got a ring of the ram. So I've got a mixed collection of some weird stuff.
Everything is fairly on theme for your characters' people. They are generally a lot of stuff that they will carry around with them.
Okay, all right. I've got to work out what the helmet of Red Knight actually does. I don't know. I don't even know if I can wear it.
Yeah, you can put the helmet on. It does fit on.
I can't remember it because it was so long ago. I can't remember what it was about. It was interesting.
The interesting thing about it was it is the faceplate of the enemy of the Traldaran people from their horror stories.
Yeah. So I'm wearing the helmet of the historical enemy of my people.
Yep.
That doesn't
And the
sound
armor
like
of it too.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
It's not. Well, you won't be recognised. Unfortunately.
Well, yeah, it does have that
you'll be
bit.
mistaken for someone worse.
With a bleeding staff and smoke everywhere and wearing this helmet, I'm not going to be mistaken for me.
Well, no one's going to think it's you.
You look like a walking omen. Like something bad is about to happen to everyone around here.
Yeah, okay. Who's this cursed nightmare who just stepped out of a myth? Yeah.
Okay, and then someone is happy to sell you a bag of magic beans.
Oh, bag of magic beans. I'll have it.
What's the worst that can happen?
Well,
he
you know,
sells-
we go 355
And sells it to you for a whole $6,000.
Okay, done.
Alright.
Are these the eating type or the planting?
They don't tell you.
Okay. How many are in the bag?
Looking inside of it, roll 3d4.
3d4. Bottom d4s. I'll roll 38.
I think I have.
D4s. 4, 5, 7.
7. So you have 7 beans in there.
What am I imagining? 7. Done. Now one day I'll plant one and see what happens. You've got the identify spell, haven't you?
Yep.
Probably won't actually help.
I can identify things.
It does
If
take 100 gold piece
It
pearl
does?
every time you use it.
No, it doesn't. It takes 100 gold piece to use it. And then you can use it as many times as you want as long
It's a
as you've got that
focus.
pearl. If someone steals that pearl, then you have to go buy another one. So if you have to read the descriptions, and if it doesn't say consume, the material, it's basically a constant thing. So most spellcasters will have little vials of all their components everywhere.
Do you have one already? 100 gold piece pearl?
Guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so you return to the inn with your wares and rest up
Throwing
for.
blood everywhere. Can I cast disguise self so I don't look so bad?
You can.
Alright, thank you.
I'm not sure to what point in purpose, but yes.
Well,
So,
I can't do anything about the trailing blood, but I can do
So he casts disguise self. You look at him; he looks exactly the same.
Do I?
Looks like a horror walking through the streets during the.
Take off the helmet and try
During-
cast it again.
Oh no, it's stuck. That was bound to happen.
Alright, so it's a cursed item. Alright. Alright.
How do you eat? It's just with a mouthpiece.
Probably through a straw, but hey.
Oh god.
You'll probably find that.
Doesn't have a visor and lift up, yes?
You find that when you're in private, you can take the helmet off as long as no one's watching you.
So, smoke, I take the helmet off.
at me.
Are we done yet? Smoke, take helmet off. Done.
That works. And hey, no one will ever expect it to be the same person wearing that helmet because no Trollbaron would ever put it on.
Yeah, okay, alright. I think I have to hide that somewhere. Actually, possible to get a bag of holding to hide all these things?
You can, but you spent all your money.
No, I've got 1150 left.
Got 1150. I thought you had.
You said 7,000 and you said the thing cost...
It cost 6 for the other one,
Yeah.
but I can look up bags.
I just need something to hide all this stuff. It's almost like I need something special for the staff. I have to figure out what to do with the staff.
Well, we can go
Well,
through...
you can get the a bag of holding for about 600-ish gold.
Okay. If it'll hold all my junk, that'll do it. So I've almost drained all the credit, but anyway.
That's alright. That's what it's there for.
The bag of magic beans. When in doubt, plant one. See what happens.
As I say, when in doubt, give me 100 gold piece, I'll hold on to it, and we can just identify things.
It also works. So
I've got enough to buy a pearl if you need one.
Yeah, sounds great. I'll have one. Thank you.
Okay.
1 pearl tucked away.
My pen's died.
I have my component.
we have another one there if that will hold.
Oh, no, I've got more in here.
Okay. So, what's next? Are we hanging around to see what happens with Cheval? Is that the...
Okay, so what's happening with the guys online? Are you going to choose to do stuff now that it is the holiest day for Cheval?
Cheval's gonna wander around and see what's like if there are any festivities going down around the town.
Okay.
Probably not. There probably isn't because no one has any idea about this being the holiday.
Okay.
No, they told us.
They did.
Oh, cool. Yeah, then Cheval's joining in all the festivities.
Okay, so from before sunrise, you can see bonfires lit all over the city,
Okay.
Yay!
where people are discarding basically everything that they probably burning a lot of things they shouldn't, but hey, it is what some religions do.
Yep.
That's a way for people to get rid of the unwanted stuff in their life.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
As the gods of fire generally burn the unwanted things, whereas the gods of thought generally find someone else for them. Everyone has their own way of doing stuff. Whereas the gods of matter try to reuse the items for different purposes. And the gods of time, well, who knows what they really do because no one's really figured that one out.
That doesn't like that.
No one's really figured him out either.
Yeah, that's what's there. Jessel probably won't tell us.
So yes, as you're walking through the city, you do notice that whenever you come close to a bonfire, it almost doubles in height.
Is that Cheval doing it?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Or his presence.
You go wandering with the flaming angel.
I don't know if he wants me hanging around.
Well, you can just follow along as a smoke trail and
Yep.
give
I can
him
do a
that-
smoke trail. I can do the smoke trail.
Make me look more awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll
Smoke
follow-
and blood following you around.
Although I can't actually see through the smoke though.
Yes, you can with the helmet.
With the helmet I can see through the smoke. Okay, so the two go together, alright.
They did.
Alright.
There are reasons to wear stuff.
Okay.
Alright, I follow
In
you.
the,
Go Sue.
No.
Indy's probably going to ask Cheval if she wants company. And hang out with her if she does.
What is Cheval's answer?
So So what was the question? Sorry, we've got fireworks going off here for some stupid reason.
Friday the 13th, people do weird stuff. So it
God,
was.
it's not even Friday the 13th. It's like almost a weekly occurrence here.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, what was the question?
I just said that Imni would join Cheval doing all her, different activities for her day if she wanted her to.
I mean, if you want to indulge yourself in my culture, then by all means, I wouldn't stop you.
Oh, I just wanted to come with you and make sure you were safe.
Chauvel would also laugh as have a little bit of a smirk as a character. Like, this is my day. I'm always safe.
It's okay. Just you used to look after Camdu, and I just want to return the favour.
By all means, come along. I will indulge you in my culture.
Okay.
Okay, so one thing you do notice, it always looks as if that Chauvel is standing in direct sunlight on this day.
Okay.
No matter if Chauvel's inside, under covers, the sun's behind buildings, it looks like Chauvel's bathed in direct sunlight.
Okay, so stands out in the crowd.
Yep.
So it makes it easier for the rest of us to sort of fade into the background.
It does.
Quick question, Martin.
Yep.
Does the paladin screaming in everyone's face get louder?
It does.
Lovely. That's exactly what I wanted.
So as you go,
I knew it was going to be louder.
I did think it was going to be louder.
It was
Everything
guaranteed.
boosted.
as you go wandering, you see that there is a portable shrine to Ixion set up on the edges of the city. Bunch of priests of Ixion are there, tossing things into the fire.
Chauvel is very pleased.
And
Chauvel will help also if they're struggling to light fires. Will help light fires.
okay, so it seems all you need to do is to set a fire when you touch things and it starts burning.
I'm not going to touch just random objects. Like if someone's struggling to light a bonfire, then I'll help them light a bonfire.
Well, you have to want it to light on fire for it to burn.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Then yes.
So you can carry around anything you want without it burning, but if you want it to burn, it just catches a light straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, the gods of fire do have their perks.
No, of course they do.
And you see many temples with their doors open on this day, allowing people to come in and worship in the name of their patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're trying to tell me there's something on is there? Yeah, I think he just wants attention.
I was trying to offer it.
Yeah.
I'm a stranger though.
Even people he knows he runs away from.
Okay.
Hey, buddy. Is this what you wanted?
Oh.
Okay, so yes, the priests are all happy to see you,
Yay!
and they ask if you can lead their rites for them.
Sure.
So give me a persuasion roll as you start saying the edicts of your god.
Persuasion roll.
Yep. As you start preaching to the crowds.
Ah.
No, let's start preaching to the crowds. Just give me una memento, because we're not going to be able to go to the computers with Mochi until she's a bit older. I just need to get everything up on my phone.
Understand.
There we go.
You just wanted to be on camera.
Mm.
What's persuasion under?
Charisma.
Yeah.
Alright,
In
cool.
general. So with
Charisma in
it
general.
can be other things, if you can justify it.
No. Charisma's one of my better ones. So. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. 17.
17. Okay, so you hear Cheval's voice start booming out over the side of the city.
Over the whole city. Okay.
As he starts preaching the laws of Tubak.
Is there any earplugs handy?
There are.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they don't work.
Oh, okay.
You got some dodgy eye shop earplugs. Sorry.
And as he is representing his god and his god's word on the holiest day of his god, it's very hard for anyone else to get a word in. And you think even if you were deaf, you'd still hear it.
Okay.
Magic tends to do things like that. So yes, that takes you about 2 hours of your day having this big long preach.
So what's the message we get? What are we told we should do or have done, or in 2 hours?
It's not so much. It's not so much what you should do or should have done. It's more of the warmth of the sun, blessed by kind of everything else. Back in the beginning of time, kind of preaching. It's not.
We owe our lives to the sun gods. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not hypnotism. It's basically rejoicing in the light of the sun and the warmth of the fire.
you use one of the elder gods.
I can go along with that.
Okay, so yes, you believe you may have gotten quite a few people to believe in your god over their others.
Yay!
And they ask you how best they may serve their god on this day. What does Cheval tell them?
Offering?
Cheval tells them, bathe in the sunlight, provide warmth to others, and Tubak will be pleased.
Okay, I will see how well that's interpreted.
Great.
Quite well, it seems.
Well, it says
Wait.
that sunbaking is what's being offered here, so...
I
Okay,
reckon
so,
half this town's going to be lobsters by the end of the
so
day.
you see a lot of the people he's talking to strip off in front of you and
Yep.
throw their clothes on the non-believers and then try to set them alight.
Oh, God.
As Cheval says that he hears a yes in the background. As he sort of, everything in front of him fades away and he sees himself sitting before his patron Tubak, the lawgiver, in the law hut, looking as if he is on trial for something. What does Cheval have to say for himself at this point?
Are you pleased with what I'm doing?
He just looks at you and says, "You've told people to strip off and burn each other. You seem to have diluted the message somewhat."
Just a bit mad.
I intended not to dilute said message, but it was listened to inappropriately.
Maybe you should speak in the language of the people.
The language of the people.
They might not have understood your concepts.
What language do you recommend I speak?
Well, he does say Ingen would really help get the message of fire across, but the message that those in the area speak would be best. The majority of them do speak Traldaran.
Traldaran.
Yes, because they are descendants of the Traldar, as well as speaking Thiatan, but Thiatan is such a dry language. It's the language of bureaucrats
Yeah.
and trade.
I have as languages Troladaran.
That's
Is that-
that one.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Troldaran,
Okay, glad that's it. Okay. I thank you and wish for my God's blessing as I will try and rectify the message.
He says you already have the blessing, hence the wings, as you find yourself forcibly standing in front of everyone else again, watching people trying to set each other alight.
I will start speaking in Troladaran. Stop trying to burn each other, but celebrate the light of the sun and the warmth that it provides you.
Give me another persuasion roll.
Persuasion roll. Yeah.
See if you can get a better word across than you did last time.
A 20, non-natural.
20 non-natural is pretty good. Apparently, people are more impressed with this, and they seem to have gotten the idea that it's supposed to help others, not hinder them.
Yes.
Which, if I had a roll another one, would have resulted in them exposing
I would
everyone
like to
else to the
say
sun.
some sort of metaphors of the warmth of kindness and love to one another.
Yes, apparently a lot of free love starts happening in your vicinity.
Perfect. Yes.
You know, they do check before starting it. So some of your words did get through.
No, of course it did. But to be honest,
Well, hey, could you imagine them starting to commit crimes in front of a paladin?
Yep.
So yes, you've all got to witness the holy event of Chauvel almost committing mass murder.
Almost.
By the words of his god.
It was like a rapturous festival, I thought.
Though there's a lot of people now running around without clothes.
Yeah,
Is
there
it
were quite a few
is it
people with
bad?
burns, but
Is it bad in the back of my head when this whole scenario first started? I was just like, you know how you guys mentioned, I was like, hey, this is like hypnotism. I just thought in the back of my mind, I went, cool, I have all these minions, now go kill each other. In the back of my mind, I thought about that.
What, stick them on the party?
No. To get all like as you mentioned, putting clothes on the non-believers and burning them alive.
So how are you settling Josh? That's nice to know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Why Zol decided to stay here.
Come on, Third Ranger, bask in the sunlight. Are you having PTSD from the supernova?
I'm literally let everyone else go out for the day, and I'm having a nice, quiet,
in a dark little corner.
corner.
With your little black book. Dear diary, today Shiva.
Pretty much.
I'm sure no one really noticed much of having Zal having a nice quiet time.
Yeah.
Hearing all the celebrations outside. Okay, so yes, you have managed to get attention, and people are suggesting you come into the city and show all the other temples how to do it properly.
I would love a tour of the city.
So they have the moon god has a major temple here.
The moon god.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sun's better.
Also the god of thieves and trade. So well respected here.
Alright. I will wander around with my new followers and bask in the city in all of its glory and see if I can get some more worshippers along the way as we do like the scenic route.
Okay, so you preach as you go?
Yep.
Okay, let's make this one a religion roll as you're trying to convert followers along the way.
As I'm trying to convert others. Yay!
I think this is what he wanted all along.
lots of attention.
24.
24. Okay, so your throng of about 100 odd people outside the city turns into about 300 by the time you get in there. And you do hear some whispers here and there going through the crowds. Give me a perception roll to see if anyone picks up what the crowd's thinking of doing.
The perception roll.
Oh, we all do it, do we?
You can choose to ignore what the crowd's saying.
Well, I wasn't sure I'd be there, but anyway.
Well, you said you were following...
I was for a while there, but
I mean-
when it started to burn people, I don't know if I'm sticking around.
You stopped it before it got too far.
Okay.
I'm going to be in.
Chanel, as much as he's preaching, got a 19.
Got expertise on perception.
How are you going there, dark and mopey?
Oh god, I hate D4.
24.
Forget the
24?
Forget the D4, it's too hard.
No advantage because it's sound based, not sight, but still.
21.
Okay, so what about Imni? Because Imni was following around as well.
I'd probably be flying
also
around
on
a
you.
bit, but
Yeah, okay.
probably too much touch.
So what am I rolling?
Perception.
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 Too much burning for my taste.
Is the fire good?
Perception.
Yeah, I know.
And the,
You're a walking smoke wall.
Well, like, I don't think I want to be that all the time, though.
it doesn't have to
You're
be.
making
I'm
you're
trying
making
not
it
to draw
look
attention to myself. I'm just not succeeding, that's all. I actually don't have the stealth skill, which probably explains it.
Okay, I got a 19.
Okay, so
Oh,
you all hear that everyone's sort of wanting to see what Cheval will do next. And then there are other members in the crowd trying to get him to go into the other temples and tell them what's what. You know, make them see the light of Ixia.
Yeah.
See if he can put his words into practice.
Mm.
And so Cheval keeps hearing challenges sent to him from his followers to convert the priests of the other temples.
I'm seriously tempted, but I'm not going to.
Does Cheval rise up to the challenge of his followers? Or her followers, as the case is.
You must live up to what your followers expect. Be the hero
Well,
that they wish. They want
yeah.
what they see.
Cheval will enter the Moon Temple again, basically preaching to all his followers as she sees the sights of the Moon Temple, basically trying to explore it out. Not instinctively trying to convert followers, but could possibly.
Okay, so as you're on the threshold of the Moon Temple, you hit a wall.
I hit a wall.
Yeah, everyone around you seems to be able to walk through it, but you can't step onto the grounds of the Moon Temple.
Huh.
Probably because you're Paladin with the wrong culture.
Oh no, as a paladin he could.
I feel highly offended by this. Oh well, I will snob the Moon Temple then and just say,
And as you wander through the city, you find you can't step onto any holy ground that is not dedicated to Ixion.
wow.
Rude.
Ixion has barred you from all the other holy places.
Alright.
Not willing to share, I think, is the problem here.
Yeah, I know, right? That's okay. So my God himself has barred me from. Okay, that's fine. I will continue to loudly preach my the almighty power of Ixion through the entire city.
I'd say the wisdom too. He's trying not to provoke war and conflict on his high holiday.
Mm.
Wisdom.
And the amusing thing is, the way the gods are currently warring, both Ixion and the moon god Asterius are on opposite sides of the conflict.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was about to say, because I was literally about to walk in, because it's like the sun and moon, which are completely opposite.
And you do find it interesting that you can't even walk into the Elven temples either.
No. That's fine. I would believe that my
Yeah.
all wise and powerful god Ixion is trying to spare me from the gibberish of the moon god and the god of thieves and trade.
You feel really good about yourself by the time you finish out the day preaching and talking, and everyone else finds it very hard to get anywhere because the crowd keeps shuffling you with them, following their holy prophet.
Yeah. I think we leave the prophet for a while.
Most of them get offended when you
How
look
many-
like you're about to leave because you're
slip
a
away in
historian.
a cloud of smoke.
Okay, give me a stealth roll to see how well you're at it, but because you're using your smoke, you can have advantage.
I was going to say, you realise I'm no good at this stealth.
I know. That's why I asked.
That's just Dex, isn't it?
It's just Dex.
It's just Dex. Oh, there's a 9. Total.
Total of 9.
Total
Okay,
of 9.
so every time you slip away, you keep finding Chauvel standing in front of you.
Okay, well, I'll just keep smoking away. And
Sorry, what was your character's name again?
Anton.
Sorry?
Anton.
Anton, you seem to be lost in this crowd.
Well, I don't know.
Are you wearing the helmet?
I seem to be... Am I wearing...
So
Put it
I
on-
to see through the
You
smoke.
need it to get through the smoke, don't you?
Yeah, well, I'm wearing the... If I can't find my way without it, yes, I'm wearing it.
Okay, so every now and then, out of the smoke comes this demonic presence with red glowing eyes, surrounded by smoke, obscuring your vision of your followers. And
Can you help me? Can you help me move on here, Cheval? I'm trying not to cramp your style, but
that,
you make it hard.
and so you believe you know the voice, but it's coming out as this deep, guttural sort of growly voice.
Okay.
Chauvel is ever cautious of this demonic helm girling at Chauvel.
All right, I'll stop the smoke. Does that help?
No. It's going to make it worse because everyone's going to see the mask.
Considering this is also the
Control tower.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's true. I look like somebody else, though. I don't look like me. I don't even sound like me. This sounds like.
You don't. Imagine wearing a Darth Vader voice changer.
Okay. I look like a bad version of Darth Vader.
Alright, Kylo Ren, let's go.
Yeah, voice changer running out of batteries.
So just help me to just slip away, please, Cheval. I'll turn the smoke back on. You know, like, are we done yet?
How close are we to finishing this festival? Probably be going like all day.
It is a sunrise to sunset festival
Yeah,
With,
likewise. It's during the daylight.
with
yeah.
some special events happening over the night of the full moon.
Alright, I will say to my followers, have you still got the helm on and with the demonic voice though?
I'm just trying to get away. I don't know how to get away. Whether I have to take the helm off to do it, but if I take the helm off, I can't see the smoke. So then I take the helmet off, stop the smoke, and I don't know what I look like after that, but I will see. What do I look like?
Whatever you disguised yourself as previously, but it didn't take while you were wearing the helmet.
You know, well, it only lasts an hour, so I'll disguise myself now as an ordinary local, maybe some poor worker or something.
Okay, so it looks like a poor worker wearing amazing looking armor.
Like I'm still wearing the armor on. Okay.
Poor
Yeah, I
worker
look
wearing
like,
amazing.
I just look
So
like an ordinary hide armor.
It does look really
As
nice.
Chauvel, I do not know this person's Anton.
Okay. All right, so I can slip away now.
Yeah. This
I
time
will say,
you hear his
I'll
voice
say-
and realise it being Anton when he's taking the helmet off.
oh, okay, cool, excellent. If Anton is unpleased, I will ask the crowd to pick him up and crowd surf him to the edge of the crowd, and then gently let him down, and then go down.
Okay, so they crowd surf him directly towards one of the fires and set him down right next to it.
Okay,
What if you want
They did stop beforehand. I rolled to check.
Yep.
That's good.
now I can slip away?
Now you can step
Yes,
away.
you can.
Okay, now I slip away. Look, I'm going to use Misty Step if this goes on for much longer.
So you return back to the inn with all these sounds of everyone talking about how fantastic it is that an angel's arrived to tell them what to do.
Good.
And not one single person has even noticed our brilliant elf.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Because
how-
you're completely outshined by this person on this day.
Yeah, I was about to say, usually I'm the centre of attention. I'm going to go find myself a nice little roof to sit on and just watch the festivities.
Ordinarily, I'd be saying great. The distraction's good, but
Not getting poked and prodded and grabbed and whatever else. I'm going to go sit somewhere and watch it.
Did you hear that, Martin?
Yep, Zal is sitting in a dark corner.
No. She offered that the elf would to sit in said dark corner with her.
I'll go. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, I'm going to go visit Zal. It's just like, what is this one?
And you find that you can still hear Cheval sitting in this dark corner. Every word Cheval says is if Cheval's yelling in your ear.
no.
I don't doubt it for a second. And I'll get some painkillers. This is going to give one hell of a headache.
If it's possible to do so while everyone else is partying with Cheval, I didn't have a problem. I wanted to try solve. It might not be the right day, high holy day of fire, full moon tonight, but I wanted to try to figure out what's wrong with my staff.
Okay.
Ah, that was an identify thing, right?
Oh, I
Is
was
that
thinking identify might help.
Yeah, there are the best place would probably be the Temple of Mysterious, the God of the Moon,
Okay.
as he does also know quite a lot of stuff.
Okay. Well, eventually Cheval's entourage and followers will move on and open the way to get in.
Well, after Cheval moved on, when Cheval was offended that Cheval couldn't enter.
Yeah. Okay. So the crowd's moved on. So ordinary folk can enter now.
Anyone can enter, even the crowd, just not Cheval.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Ordinary folk like me.
I would be mentioning as I basically walk around but up onto the holy ground, all the locals near the church, which will probably be their local church, of how insulted and how inferior this church is and all that kind of stuff.
So you walk through all the flaming debris thrown towards the church as you get into the entryway.
Yeah. I don't comment about whether or not it is a good or bad church or temple or anything like that. I'm not buying into this debate.
You're welcomed by a group of halflings with what appear to be exceedingly sharp daggers.
Oh, okay. Hello.
They greet you.
What?
They greet you warmly.
What sort of warmth? Is this the Cheval type warmth or is this
The
friendly warmth?
The verbal warmth.
The verbal warmth, okay.
But still enough to set your hair on end, because you do know the halflings well. A lot of the assassins of the region are known to be practitioners at the Church of Mysterious.
Yes. Well,
And the worst halflings in the world are all halflings.
oh, like,
But they double as priests.
that was true. Well, thank you for the friendly welcome here. I've come because I think Asterius may hold the answers to some questions that I
Come
have.
bring that bloody staff with you.
Yeah, I'll bring the bloody staff with me. Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry about the mess.
Oh, nothing we haven't seen here before.
Okay, fair enough.
We
I
heal
cleaned-
all things.
Okay, yeah, well, healing's probably needed here. Actually, I realise that healing might cost me a fortune I don't have.
Fortunes can be gained and lost here.
Fortunes can be gained and lost. Well, I'm good at losing fortunes. I haven't been good at.
Then you're at the right place.
Don't have a fortune anymore. I did yesterday.
So you lost one already.
I've lost one already.
I see Asterius shines on you. The more people that lose fortunes, the more there is going around.
Yes, that's true. I agree. I think that there are some in the world who deserve to lose their fortunes.
And some we make happen.
Yes. Oh, I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, so looking at this staff of yours,
Yeah.
I see it is part of another item.
Ah, it's only part of. So it's been separated and that severing has caused the bleeding, is that it?
It does.
Okay. So I need to heal it by bringing it back together. What's the other part?
He does not know. His God does not answer with that. They answer in riddles.
Answer riddles. Okay.
Because if gods were straight and gave you the direct answer, there'd be no effort involved. And the gods of thought do not give
I'm trying to
you
think of-
anything outside of a room.
I'm trying to think how I can find out the other half. I don't really have
Normally, when you find one, the other one ends up in your path.
things on my path. So one day I might encounter the other half and I might better put them together and bring them together and heal it and solve it. But until then, I trail blood.
So, he asked, how squeamish are you?
My face is horribly scarred.
That doesn't answer the question.
I'm just saying, I've seen a few things.
We've seen a few things.
Yeah, I've seen a few things.
So, the god does say that if you were to put a drop of blood on the staff, it will stop bleeding for some time.
A drop of my blood.
Yes. As long as you have connected to the staff and made it your own, you can stop the bleeding with your own blood.
Okay, sounds like some hit points being lost here, but whip out the dagger, grab staff, hold it. What happens?
Okay, you feel that your blood mingling with the blood on there,
Okay,
and next thing you know, your hand's not cut,
okay,
and the staff's not bleeding.
all right. Okay, thank you, Asterius.
And you do notice that the nails on that hand are now twice as long as they were.
Well, my hand's already covered in black scales, so you know.
One hand's got short nails, one hand has long nails.
Okay, have it like curling like that.
Well, they look as if they've just aged about a year or two.
Okay. Does that mean I've got older?
Well, your hand did.
So part of me is older than the rest of me. Okay.
But that's always the case, the halfling says.
Oh, well, okay. I didn't
You're
know
constantly dying and regrowing.
that. Am I?
Unless, of course, you're already dead, in which case you're not regrowing.
So so Asterius believes that followers that we're always dying and regrowing. This is rebirth, is it?
No, the rebirth gods say you actually have to physically die, whereas Asterius teaches that science has a place in the world.
Okay.
And that if you were to take a piece of a person, that piece will only be useful for tracking them for up to 7 years.
Okay. Thank
Because
you.
after 7 years, it will no longer be the person that you were chasing.
Thank you.
Depending on who it is. Dragons, it can be a lot longer.
Yeah. With much wisdom. I'm still going to call it the bleeding staff, though. Because I don't know how long this will last, but at least I know how to actually solve the problem when it comes up.
So yes, you have a solution. Now, what are you offering for your solution? Because with the God of Asterius, we like to provide the service before we get paid.
Okay.
And if we don't like the payment, we'll extract our payment in our own way.
Okay, I quite understand that. Not feeling particularly wealthy. I can offer you some of my credit at the bank. I can.
Less worried about money.
Oh. So what do you like?
What can you offer us in exchange for what we've done for you?
Oh, I've got a collection of magic items here. I've got this really cool hide armor. Which
He laughs and says, "Unfortunately, I don't think you can take that one off."
I haven't tried yet.
You wouldn't try it.
I've also got this really cool helm, but am I right in saying that I can only kind of not being seen?
He says that he believes the helm suits you.
It does.
It will come in handy during one of these days.
Okay. Well, okay. What else can I offer you? I've got some magic beans. Would you like a bean?
He laughs.
I can plant it for you.
You could, but we have no need for such things.
Okay. You don't want a vine growing to the
Well,
ground.
how about tell us a tale of your first adventure?
My first?
Adventure.
It's not a happy tale.
That's even better. Pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair.
If you can make me cry, it's definitely worth it.
Well, okay.
Performance roll.
Performance.
But if you want to give me a rundown of the tale, you may get bonuses.
Okay, I'll tell you how much. I'll tell you how it was that I came to be cursed.
Which curse is this?
Yeah, okay, I do have a few. All right, okay. How it
You seem to be
was.
collecting them.
How it was that I came to be bound in the way that I am. Does that help?
Not really, because there's a lot of things bound to you right now.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm not aware of all of them. I'm only aware of some of them.
Well, the first adventure was what he was asking for.
Okay, the first adventure. I have to insert names of places that I don't actually know.
Doesn't have to have names. You can just describe what you did.
Okay. Well, we tried to overthrow the lords of insert name of city. That completely failed. This is just the prologue, by the way.
I believe that was when you were talking about it last, the city of Calvin.
Calvin,
That's
okay.
right.
City of Calvin.
And the high priest of the Church of Karameikos.
Yes, and as punishment for our failure, we were imprisoned and forced to become soldiers in the service of Calvin. This rankled with me. I did not wish to be, enslaved by insert name.
And did you have to preach the word of the church that you had tried to overthrow?
No, I did not. They tried to make me. But, throwing together so many people who were so opposed, you can learn things. And I learned of an entity that I thought might be able to help. And so I performed a ritual, really not knowing what the ritual was, which was part of the problem.
Yeah,
And
always read the fine print, he says.
Well, look,
It's
I was doing it without all the documentation.
And the warning comes after the spell, not before.
Well, look, I just had the fragmentary information that was available to me. I didn't know the full details, but I thought it would give me a way out, an escape, to get away from this, being a slave soldier in the service of my enemies.
Just be glad it wasn't the Black Eagle Barony, he says.
Okay.
You would not have gotten out of that one.
To cut the story short was, what I did was I summoned forth this thing from the other side into the world, and it took control of me, it possessed me, and then proceeded to I'm responsible for the deaths of hundreds, put it that way. But I did get away.
Okay, so I shall give you a performance roll with advantage to see if you can give him a tearjerker.
I wasn't meant to be a teacher. It was meant to be, this is a moral story about...
Hey, moral stories and a tearjerkers generally work well.
Well, the 11's better than the 1. That makes 11 plus 0 is 11.
You got nothing in charisma?
I got nothing. You got nothing in charisma. I decided to make it wisdom for some stupid reason. I don't know.
Okay, well, you could have used wisdom with it.
Oh, okay.
Because performance can use any state if you can justify it.
Oh, okay.
And if you're doing
I'm trying to do a moral story. So
give you a wisdom bonus.
So that's 16 then. That sounds a bit better.
He seems quite impressed with your tale. A few tears there on some of their eyes as they talk about some of their own oppression amongst things. They talk about how they have a hatred of dwarves.
Hatred of dwarves, okay.
Because dwarves eradicated their language and
Oh,
culture when they enslaved the entire nation.
Well, slavery, yeah, okay.
And as such, there's no halflings in this region who now know their native tongue. They know a smattering of runes, and that's it.
Ah, so there's no way you can actually find your native tongue again?
There's no one in the region who knows it.
Okay, no documents?
Or willing to teach it.
No documents or
The
records?
dwarves burnt it all.
Oh, bastards, aren't they?
as they made them all learn Dwarvish. So most halflings know Dwarvish now.
Okay.
And they use it as curse words mainly.
Well,
So yes, they accept your offering. And they say that is due for the course of the God of Thieves. But as a free thing, they will say that they do know who your patron is.
well, I don't know actually.
And they pat you on the shoulder and say, good luck.
Well, I don't know what it is, only that I am bound to it.
They know what it is.
Okay.
But that's a price they're not willing to give out just yet.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Has to be something for a little more than a story of woe and...
Well, thank you. They have helped me, you know. Nothing
Okay.
Cool. Alright.
So yes, then we have Chauvel moving on into the city further and enjoying the whole center of attention. And even up past sunset, he still glows as if he's in direct sunlight.
I left it pedestal. How I look in the sky. Said that.
At least he'll be easy not to lose.
I was gonna say, Cheval's still like basking in all this light.
Does the light come down over the top so we can actually see where he is from the distance?
You can just see this glow.
Oh, so it's not the sort of light coming down from the sky or
No,
anything?
there's no light coming from anywhere. It's just as if something has just lit him up with light and reflecting light, and it's not coming from any direction. Every direction you look at Chauvel from, as if sunlight's hitting that direction.
Cheval will keep on doing in the name of Chewbacca. He will keep on roaming around the city, making his followers grow.
And then there is then you see the blood moon start to rise over the horizon, which is the red moon. It's one of the days that magic goes crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Those who know how to harness magic best know that this is one of those days they either plan a grand experiment or pack up their books and go home for the day.
Is my grand experiment converting some Chinatown?
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
Does Zal wish to conduct a grand experiment in the confines of the inn away from the other people?
No, when I can presumably feel the magic power rising, I will dutifully put my book away that I'd been perusing over for today and just meditate.
You do feel everything around you come alive with magic, far more than it does any other time of the year. Magical creatures are considered their strongest this day.
Okay. I keep feeling prostrate.
Actually, you know what? Better yet, I will go meditate with my magical animals.
So did you put your collar on the XP?
I probably would have done that in the morning, yes.
Okay, so you do notice that when you go out to spend time with your Axbeak that he's currently flying over the city.
Okay, I will harness up.
As you're doing so, you notice that there are a couple of limbs in these stalls nearby.
Oh god.
Yep. I will then probably proceed to spend the rest of the night up on Atlas, I think it is.
Is that where I say or Aries, depending on which one you think it is today?
Yeah. And I will then babysit the axe beak for the rest of the night once I realize that, you know, he's actually actively flying around the city.
And as you're saddling your horse, give me a perception roll. Oh, your griffin, actually.
Sorry, Martin, the sound cut out. Was that perception or was
It
it?
was perception.
Well, that's a 19, so I think my perception is like +2, so 20, 21.
Okay, so you hear the crunching of bones. As you turn around, you see the Clydesdale horse chewing on one of the legs.
Oh, right.
Well, there won't be much evidence left afterwards.
Well, I mean, I guess so.
Well, you remember someone saying the need for more stable hands.
Yeah.
And you do think the X-Beak might have taken them literally. As it has branched out from bringing just legs.
Oh, God. Okay.
And as you say that, you find yourself sitting in a hut.
I'm not the only one who said it.
And you see a wise old woman on the other side of it looking down at you going, why do you call on me on this other holy day of the year?
Forgive me, Yobuga. I'm just slightly frustrated with my X-Beak Chocobo.
I believe he has gained intelligence over the time he's been with you.
Sorry?
I believe he has gained much intelligence and knowledge since he's been with you.
Yes, and sometimes he puts that to not the best use. I sort of spoke out of turn a little bit there, so my apologies. I am now. We'll have to sort out some more training on when it is appropriate to go hunting and flying around when there's super magical events in the area.
Well, she has heard the prayers of your Axby. Has made many an offering this day to various gods.
In my Axby. Should I be worried
Always.
about that? Always? Perfect. I will now go babysit him for the rest of the night with your blessing.
You have my blessing to go forth and stop your murderous bird from committing more carnage.
Thank you very much. And have a good day on this otherwise non-auspicious day for you.
Okay, so you find yourself back in the stables hearing the sound of grinding bone.
Mm-hmm.
Not disturbing whatsoever.
No.
As you mount your griffin and fly off, watching a smoke cloud make its way towards the inn.
I don't need to be smoke cloud anymore. I'm not dripping blood everywhere.
Okay, flying over the city, you do see the multicoloured winged elf on one of the high points overviewing the city. Definitely looking happier away from the reach of prying fingers. It's been a while since she seems to have lost a feather, so she has that look of sereneness on her.
Less hands grabbing.
I will give her a somewhat flyby in greeting and continue to monitor my XP and tell them all.
And not far from the winged elf is a severed arm. Did the give the elf a perception roll?
So,
So I hope you still have 2 arms.
nat 20.
Okay, so yes, you do remember that the axebeak came by at one point, seemed to chirp at you and fly off. You didn't really pay much attention to it. Then you realise the severed arm is right where it was chirping at you from.
I think that's a gift.
Apparently he likes you.
Aww. I think he's pretty cool too, even though he's a little bit murderous. Alright.
He is the worst murder hobo of the party. So yes, you managed to have fun chasing your axebeak all over the city as he doesn't kill anyone in your presence, or maim or dismember or do anything, but he does have a lot of fun flying over and scaring people.
I'm sure he does. And I'm sure we will have a long conversation at some point.
So when you have your translation going, you keep hearing him saying, "Death from above!"
I just groan.
Though you do have a feeling he's been offering people hands all day. Let me give you a hand, drop. So, what is Emily doing after you've been wandering around with Chauvel most of the day and nights coming along?
So Emmy's just been, I guess, watching what's been going on, watching Cheval. She's probably, if she's been wandering around all day and all night, she'll probably go back to where we're staying and go to bed.
Okay. So as you're coming back, you do see that Zal, having to remember all the names without saying the player's name. Zal takes off on the griffin as you come back.
Uh-huh.
And you do see a pile of legs sitting in the stalls as you go past.
So is that the axebeak?
Axebeak's not in there.
There's a pile of legs.
Yes.
Just legs.
Just legs.
Well, usually it's the axebeak that does that. Okay, well, I don't know what else to do. I'll just keep going back to where we're staying, I guess.
Okay. So you have a wonderful night's rest.
Mm-hmm.
Not a care in the world, it's not your problem.
No, exactly.
Chauvel does have a lot of people show up claiming that there have been limbs torn off and bodies mangled, asking for Chauvel to save them. O righteous angel of the day.
He won't be able to answer right now.
So currently they get a waiting message from Chauvel.
Hold that thought.
Hard to get a word in while she's preaching. But they're all lined up to ask for assistance. I'm sure Chauvel can regrow limbs.
Obviously.
And everyone else has a rather relaxing night in comparison to what could have been. And morning comes pretty early, as the days are now starting to get shorter again. We've just had the longest day of the year.
Okay.
Partly why that's the holiest day for the sun god is it's the
Solstice.
Yeah, solstice. Makes sense.
Thanks.
I talked to my familiar Prosper. I said, Lord Prosper, would you like a little treat? Is there something that you'd like while I'm good here? Because I've got all this money. Is there something you want?
Yes. Sure. Shiny.
Shiny. Shiny. Okay, how do we make him shiny? I'll go visit them. Can you make Prosper shiny? Shiny? You'd like to be shiny.
One of them says, yeah, it's going to make him shiny. He starts pulling out all these barrels and...
Well, Prosper, you get the choice. What do you like?
Points at various shiny things on the floor. Shiny.
Shiny. Shiny.
Sorry, man. You were saying before.
As you're doing your preaching, you have a lot of people coming up asking you to help them because people have lost arms and legs.
I'll start healing the wounded and ask what has been going on.
Something out of the darkness has been stealing people's limbs.
Something out of the darkness.
Yeah.
We must bring them to the light.
Give me a insight roll.
Insight roll?
Should be fairly good at that being a paladin.
Yeah, probably not. It's under wisdom, yes?
Normally, but we can use it with wisdom today.
Hmm?
We can use it with wisdom today.
Wisdom today? Yeah. Uh, 18.
18. So, looking at some of the injuries, they do remind you of the dismembered parts you've seen the axe beak give you. Well, gives
Yep.
But they're describing it as if something has come from the air and taken the limb with them. So something that acts like the axe beak does, but is flying.
Cheval will investigate this further.
How does Cheval do so?
Cheval will attempt to light up the sky.
What does Cheval have to light up the sky?
Cheval doesn't have much. However, she will pray to Lord Tubak to find the demonic being in the sky that is hurting his followers.
Okay, so give me a perception roll as you're making this prayer.
Perception roll. $14.
Okay, you see Zal swooping in and out of the light up in the air on the griffin.
On the griffin.
Yep. Maybe Zal's trying to edge in on your holiday.
I'll ask the followers who are being injured. Was there any chance you got a look of what got you?
No, just a flash and he was gone with the lid.
Interesting. I will bless, or attempt to bless, all the injured in the name of Tubak. Hopefully he grants them fast healing.
So you basically see all these stumps scour over.
Yeah. And Cheval will note the injuries and the possible beings that could be in the sky.
Well, there's at least 20 people you've encountered so far.
I'm well aware.
So yes, you spend the night doing that, and morning comes around. You don't actually feel tired. Zal feels tired. Zal hasn't slept. It's not Zal's holiday. But Zal makes it back to the... What was that, Em?
Em said she was cleaning up her mess.
And the Axbeak returns to the stables by sunrise.
On foot or flying?
Flying.
Flying, okay.
Notice death from above, or did I stop flying?
And by the time you return, there's no mess in the stables to worry about. It's all gone.
I give a nod to, presuming it was Horse who tidied up Axbeak's mess. I will give a knowing nod to him in my tired and weary state.
So you have a feeling that your Axbeak is less worried about Horse now that he can fly.
That, and he's been giving Horse offerings as well, so, you know.
Appeasement's not to slaughter him in his sleep.
Pretty much.
So as morning rises, Cheval has returned to the inn as well, been unsuccessful in tracking down what has caused all the deaths.
It's a mystery.
However, we'll ask Zal, what were you doing up last night?
You hear a voice coming out of the darkness going, "Flying practice." As you realise it came from Chocobo.
You... what?
Flying practice.
Did you take the arms and legs of my followers?
I never touched your followers, it says.
I turned to Zal, why was your Axbeak flying around?
Can fly now.
Yeah. I haven't been flying. The next week could fly. We had a good night.
We can all fly.
Cheval will leave the conversation highly suspicious. I'm probably very angry at the Axbeak and Zal. But Cheval has no evidence to prove anything. So she will leave.
It is even more disturbed now that you've actually heard Chocobo talk to you.
Yep. Soon Cheval will have target practice.
Is that where you're going to point Chocobo at something and saying, "Get"? Is that your target practice?
No.
Fetch.
That's where I start casting the ranged fire attacks. The Chocobo is flying around.
It's raining Chocobo.
Oh look! Rotisserie chicken. It flies around. Hovers around the flame. Perfect.
Okay, so when sunrise comes up, you notice that you're no longer lit by the sun.
You're still lit
This is
during the
fine.
night, though.
You feel a little disappointed that the sun's not shining on you constantly.
I do, but the day was joyous, and hopefully Chewbacca is happy that he's got, hopefully I believe, at least half the town of followers.
You think you got hundreds of people to follow you and not murder everyone else, which was nice.
Yes, which was nice.
I'm sure they'll murder them later.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to stay to secure their loyalty to Chewbacca.
So we go, hurrah! So yes, now that you've got the morning rising, do you wish to head off in a specific direction? Or do you need the GM to remind you what you were doing at the time?
Yeah, I remember we're supposed to be going to the right on screen. I don't remember where that is.
We're heading up towards the coastline,
You're
right?
heading up towards the northern reaches,
Yep.
which you can actually get to. So if you look at this big map here, so you're currently somewhere where the mouse pointer is. You want to get to that point over there.
Okay.
I thought we were most of the way there, if I recall.
So if you look at it here, this is that point here. And again, this is the point all the way over here.
Okay, so we're halfway.
And each one of those hexes is 48 miles.
Okay, and there's no obvious road in part of that.
There is through the desert and then up that way.
Oh, okay. All
There
right.
is another road that cuts up through here into the dwarves and out the other side. But the dwarves have closed their borders to outsiders.
Yeah, well, I also heard that there are bastards too. There are no dwarves in the group, are there? No, okay.
We do have the option of resting at our hotel and reappearing for
Yes, you can take the basement portal and find yourself out in the northern reaches. I believe if I have a look at the actual timeline that you can make it there in one day. Which is far better than trying to do many days.
I think we've travelled, seen the countryside a bit, and should got.
We also someone's going to pin some murders on us eventually.
We need to get out of town. I think
Does
that
Drazel bring his cart and Clydesdale with it?
You can.
Okay.
I think
So you can actually get to most of the major settlements of the northern reaches via the Ridrian's Inn, the Knights River Inn.
Okay.
So that is Norvik and the other major one in Slowfoot. So it uses the main stops on that map as the places he's provided access to. And each year he expands it out.
I see no problem with going through the Knights River Inn.
Okay, so considering it in the morning is when you leave, you find yourself coming out on the eastern coast of the land, seeing the sunrise over the water.
Okay.
Nice.
So it's instantaneous or 24 hours?
It is an instantaneous thing, but
Okay.
it will only open the portals of a morning.
Okay.
And you do have to go via Darken City,
Okay.
because every portal opens to Darken City or from Darken City.
So it's a hub and spoke. Go to
Yes.
Okay.
And it's designed that way to stop other people being able to gain entrance to where they shouldn't. And only followers of Ridrian who are in his service can use it.
Okay.
So if they're not working for him, they can't get through. As a safety mechanism to stop it used for military or terrorist activities, as he listed.
Okay. So we needed to. I can't remember why we're trying to get there.
You were trying to get there so you could talk to the various cults about what they are doing and why they are there. Because previously you'd found out that they had escaped from the Alphatian nation because they were the shock troops of the Alphatian nation. Designed to go in and use magic and martial skill to annihilate whoever they're up against.
Okay. And so why are they here?
They didn't want the war.
Deal with the war.
They migrated to escape the war.
Martin, I'm just going to drop off for a few minutes and then I'll be back.
Yeah, that's okay. And a few of the different party members have had dealings with them to the point that the cults have sent some of their numbers to serve on their estates.
Okay.
Which is why you guys were the best choice to go and investigate.
Okay.
You don't really want a stranger going up saying, "Tell me your secrets." And they go, "No." Kill a few of them. "Tell me your secrets." Definitely not.
Okay. So we're up in the north.
Northern Reaches region, which I can show you a better map of. There we go.
Yeah.
Bring it up in yellow. So normally you'd end up in Norvik, which is the centre of where the others have gone.
Mm-hmm.
So they had encountered most of them in the region over here.
Okay.
Just off the main path. So there was a main path heading up along the north there, being the Great North Road. But it's more of the Great North Trail. Road is sort of a bit hopeful.
So we're in Norvik now.
You're in Norvik now. And this place is a lot of talk of Thor, the Thunder God, Odin, some whispers of Loki. Because there is a city to Loki to the south. And many people discussing the invasion that they missed out on. It's probably the safest nation in the world to be in because very few people want to invade the coast of this world, this part of the world.
Okay. And this is where the people we're supposed to talk to are, or are they
Further towards that Trollheim.
Trollheim? Okay.
Yeah,
up
near
there.
Trollheim. And Trollheim is the home of the trolls.
Yeah, okay.
The oldest trolls known are living there. So when you want to discover smart trolls, that's where you go.
Okay. So we have to head up north.
Normally you take a boat because the road itself doesn't really go around the river.
We need to boat our way. Okay.
So normally you boat your way around to Greenstad and then going from there is the way most people go.
Okay.
So there was a village of Red Lark in that area that the others had encountered some of the stuff, and Zal managed to kill her uncle and recover the skull of her father. Don't think I need to worry about it right now. I have to check.
Sorry. Alright, well I guess we get prepared and then, unless the party has something they want to do here in Norvik, we stop.
Have we got a boat? How long will it take us to sail? If we wanted to go to Grebstead, how long will it take us?
What is it?
It's about 7 days by water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they can only go about 24 mile in a day with their long ships.
Yeah.
They try not to push it more than that.
Sure. Okay.
Alright. Say if the party's got anything else they want to do? Or we want to start making our way towards the cults?
With people online on mute, it's very hard to know if they want to do anything different.
Yeah. And what were the people?
Sorry, Martin. I'm here.
I'm here too. It's just that background noise. I've got to stay on mute.
I understand. That's why I was asking.
Chevelle's happy to move on. I'm still riding the high of my holiday, basically.
I'm happy to move on with the party.
Though Chevelle does notice that you seem to feel strongest in the light. So if you're in direct sunlight, you feel better than you do when you're not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, if we're on a boat, you can be out in the...
He can fly, he just...
I can fly, of course.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
Flight does help.
Mm.
And you do see that unlike your multicolored wings, most of Chevelle's wings are a golden red sort of color.
Okay.
See, it's just dull, comparatively. I mean,
Sort of looks like the when she's moving the wings, it looks like flame.
hey, that's nice.
Not as good as your rainbow.
No, exactly. Rainbow, lightning, it's fine. Much better.
And you do hear about how the day before you arrived, there was this brilliant drinking festival, and how many a dwarf had fallen under the might of the mighty drinkers of Thor.
I can't stomach it.
The mighty drinkers of Thor. This sounds interesting.
They call themselves the Fellowship of Thor. We shall drink you under the table. And they seem to be still chanting the song, "We shall drink you."
What I've learned about dwarves are not really too fun.
Hey, everyone's got horror stories in their backgrounds.
Yeah.
There's very few races that can say we're clean from doing bad things.
Yeah, that's probably true.
The Wind Elf might be, but it's just because they've never done anything.
Well, they walked away from the other elves.
Well,
They
exactly.
completely left them to their own devices, did not help them, did not do anything until their lives were threatened.
Yeah, exactly. As I said, the Winged Elves are probably, free of...
They let the elven home of Ilsandul fall without helping it.
Yeah, that was just really... Guilty by...
They could have
inaction.
So there's all these stories of each race about the failings of every other race.
Mm.
Sometimes about their own race.
Mm. Yes.
Whereas the Traldar people blame a lot of things, including themselves, for their own failings.
Yeah, but we try to overcome that.
They do. And it's all about striving for being a better person, that they admit their own faults.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Whereas some of them say, "There's nothing wrong with me, I'm perfect."
Yeah, well, you always get the odd crack.
Whereas the people to the south of this nation, the Yolari, talk about how they are the perfect people and try to tell everyone how life is perfect with them.
Okay, they're bored. Okay, they're tiresome.
They are.
Mm.
Very Arabian Nights. So, you take the boat. It does take you 7 days to reach there. On the water, you don't really notice a huge amount of suffering or changes.
I was just say I can give the boat good weather for most of for the trip, so good headwinds, and we'll just cruise along.
Okay, seeing if anything major happened during that time.
I'm not even sure I can swim.
Not everyone can. Okay, so you don't really get a huge amount of things happening during that time. A lot of people are still recovering from the Festival of Fire, or Energy as they call it. Because the Festival of Energy
They're
has
burned out.
It does. A lot of them are burnt out. Smouldering even.
Smouldering.
Okay, so yes, and you find yourself reaching the town of Rebelstead. It's not a huge town. It doesn't have a lot of things going for it. It barely has a pier to get off on.
Okay.
The pier looks like it's rebuilt every season.
So it's more like a village you're talking.
It is a village,
Okay.
but they like to call themselves a town. They have the words "town" sitting up in
I respect
painted
that.
letters.
I respect that. The town of Grebestead. I wanted to be here.
And they welcome everyone with a fruit. Have a fruit.
Fruit. Okay. Well, okay. What's the local language?
The local language is Haldaic.
Okay, I don't have that.
Yeah, but they do speak Thaiatian and Alphatian.
I'll be polite. I'll cast tongues so I can talk to them in their language.
Okay. So the understanding you have of their language is not what they say, but what they mean. And most of it is be healthy, don't spread disease, have a fruit.
Okay. Well, thank you. I have a fruit. I don't know.
Well, they come from a nation of sea travelers and traders. So for them, fruit is a staple of life.
Yes. Okay. Oh, thank you.
Eat
Thank
this,
you
don't
for
get
this.
scurvy.
Thank you for this fruit.
And fresh fruit is a delicacy for most of them because you can't always travel with fresh food.
I appreciate that.
Cool. Alright, well, I guess we'll leave it to the rest of the party members since they've encountered the cultists before. They're probably going to be able to point us in the right direction.
But now that we have all three of them back online, as Josh has returned. And
I'm eating my pear.
I was about to say, M's returned. I never left.
yeah, I said the wrong one when I looked up, just saw something pop up, I forgot which one had disappeared. But only one of you had, that's why I added the extra name afterwards, so I'll be right 50% of the way. So, yes, you are...
It's one of us.
You're at the town of, well, they call it the town of Grebestead. You know more of a hovel village that you've encountered. It is probably best known as the main port of call for those who are wanting to get out of the northern reaches heading north, or have entered the northern reaches coming south. Because if you keep going north, the major towns at the top there are a little more probably, best thing to say, more civilized, more demanding, more likely to be raided.
Okay.
Whereas the Grebestead doesn't look like he's got anything worth taking. Raiders would probably leave more than they take. It's like, I'm so sorry, here, take my weapon.
Scanner's Cost, that's the name of the...
Scannercost is the name of the domain.
Okay.
Like Namahead is also the name of the domain. So each one has a clan Jarl who presides over that region.
Okay.
As the islands to the east are the Oslan Islands, they have a king and island Vikings, whereas this one more has the land-based, more cultured Vikings, willing to accept the word other than Odin. There are other gods other than Odin in their mythology, and they're happy to look after them, whereas the ones to the south are known as the Sodafid Yaldums, a bunch of people who follow whichever god they choose to. That's normally Norse in case, and generally don't tell people who it is, because people get jealous of their gods. And the gods get jealous of their people.
Right. Be polite and tolerant about their beliefs. Listen. Politely.
If you listen, they will never stop.
Okay.
You've got to know when to say enough is enough.
I won't say I've done yet. I don't want to give the wrong impression.
So they turn to our three veterans of the region and ask, where next?
Anything we should do to prepare? I presume we
Is it
don't.
gonna get cold?
What was that, Em?
Is it going to get cold?
Probably not. You're in the middle of summer. You
Oh.
just had the hottest day of the year the day before.
That is true. I was getting confused because you were saying we're now going to get 4 days, but yes, we've only just had
The longest day.
equinox. Yeah. Or D&D's equivalent of equinox.
Because you've just had the shortest night of the year.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't remember Redrin specifically saying we needed anything.
Well, you were going to look into the 4 different cults that you knew and possibly speaking to the 5th one you heard about.
Yes. So
you
I
have
guess
been given warnings on the 5th one in that if they don't like you, you may not walk out.
yeah. So I guess be prepared for combat? Question mark.
The warning was it was a shadow dragon.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so
Oh,
we
great.
have to flee.
What they've learnt about dragons are the chromatic dragons are the most common. They're the ones who interact with the world at large. The metallic dragons are more like the bureaucrats of the dragon world. The gemstone dragons are the guardians of the dragon world. Then you have more of the elemental dragons are the guardians of this world and the others.
Have any more dragons left though? So I thought-
They have left the region, which is why if there's one here and it's one of the elemental dragons, so a fourth evolution of a dragon,
yeah.
they're
Some-
generally not part of the dragon society. They stand above it.
Okay.
And then they did hear that there is a dragon above that called the cosmic dragons. Dragons that exist between worlds.
Okay.
I mean, we could leverage the fact that we have traveled with a dragon in the past, and still have ties to her. But I'm not sure how amenable. As I said, it depends on the dragon.
It does. And it depends on what this dragon wants. As they you were told that another group had discovered that she was the cause of the migration of the other cults. She made them pack up and go.
Okay.
But beyond that, they didn't get much more than that. They were happy they got out with their lives. Considering the pathway to their house was filled with the skulls of those who failed.
Okay.
Did they give us any information on what type of dragon it was, or?
Shadow dragon means elemental darkness.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
And
It would be the equivalent of finding a dragon made of just of flame, or of solid earth or stone, or
what do we know about shadow dragons?
just that they exist.
Just
They're,
that
they,
Very little.
we don't, yeah, okay. We don't
your
know.
characters learnt of their existence in the last game year.
Okay, alright, so.
That's how new it is to you.
Alright, so
They've
we
heard
know.
of Dragonborn in the last 11 game years.
Okay. And we're trying to find out why they're here.
Or more exactly, what really is the cult about?
What is really
Because you've scratched the layers a couple of times, and each time you've dug in further, you've found other things. And you have the feeling that Zal is considered a champion of one of those cults.
Oh, okay. Zal, you can tell us. You can solve it for us.
But you don't think they told her everything, him everything.
Okay.
No, I'm not. The reason why I have Griffin and Griffin Riders, but I'm still, I guess, what would be in like the initiate kind of stage, even though I'm their champion? Question mark.
Well, they see great things in you. It's whether or not you achieve the greatness that is the important part.
Okay, let's set off and find your greatness.
I mean, I'm trying in my own way.
Okay. So, give me an insight roll for Zal.
Insight. Bear with me 2 seconds, I'm not near my computer anymore. Insight. Okay. Apparently that needs to be installed. Excuse me a second while that just does that.
It's okay, we can do some sort of elevator music in our heads while we wait. So Josh is always good at bringing that up at the unexpected. So, And intermittently, Paladin! So did you look it up, Al?
Yes, I did. Total of 21.
21. Okay, so you do think that you probably do want to meet with the Shadow Dragon.
Is there any information we can gather before we do that, or is basically what we know is that's basically it?
You didn't get much more except that her house moves.
Oh, her house moves. Okay.
And recently, from Tuesday night's group, it's also considered one of the Dragon Academies.
Hmm. Okay. Would we be able to write a letter to, say, Calbrix and ask where she might currently be? Or if she knows where she currently is? Is that possible?
You can. So you'll have to wait till next session to get a response.
That's fine. I will go about setting that in motion then.
Bit of a long shot, but if someone have Legend Law to help us get some information,
I do not.
Well, our cleric wizard would not have the levels to cast it.
okay.
Our paladin would not have the levels either.
I'd guess
Our
so.
ranger would definitely not have the levels to cast it.
Yeah.
And that leaves us with our bard warlock, who may not have enough bardic levels to cast it. Actually, I think it's rogue warlock. Actually,
Me?
no, the halfling.
I was like, no.
And then we have a monk as well.
A monk as well, yeah.
So apparently you are the pristine caster of the party.
Okay, even though, and I don't get Legend Law, and my spell is not that good.
All it depends on is eventually with Secret Craft you follow expands your spell list based on your interests in how the world progresses.
Okay.
So if you're a seeker of knowledge, if you're a seeker of magic, if you're a seeker of intrigue and all those different things, each one of them has their own path.
Okay.
And you gain spells that further that path. Or access to spells that further that path. Not necessarily gaining them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Seeker of Freedom.
freedom. Freedom is another one. Though freedom of thought, freedom of action are two different things.
True.
And freedom of choice is another one.
Okay, so there are 3 different freedoms.
Well, there are always more freedoms to think about. Come back for some more attention, have you?
Well, fine. My guess is this Shadow Dragon is probably going to be immense. So, with a couple of flying people, you might have trouble finding it.
You could. You could find it probably quite easily and very hard at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's just whether we want to find it quickly. How do we talk to people we do know first rather than we talk to someone we don't know?
Yep.
Okay, so I will give Chauvel an insight roll at that point.
Chauvel an insight roll. Got a sweet 5.
Chauvel's completely clueless at this point, so we'll move on to Imni and see if Imni can do better.
No, Cheval's got an insight into the light. The light.
And Chauvel has discovered that Chauvel can look into the sun and not feel any pain.
Yay!
Okay, so I do an insight roll.
An insight roll, yes.
Okay, hang on. Here. Okay. That wasn't very good. 10 plus 10 plus 2, 12.
Well, okay, so you have heard the stories about how the different groups have travelled, and Imni does recognise that in all the stories of all the groups, Drazzle is in all the stories.
Drazzle. What do you know about
Don't I know Drazzle?
You do, he's with you.
Oh, yeah, I thought. Yeah, I thought.
And he's also, while he's with you, he's also in at least 4 other places at the same time.
That's true, yeah, I remember that now.
And he talks to himself on a regular basis.
Looking at Drazzle's not aligned to darkness, is he?
He is not.
He's trying to, what aspect is he aligned to?
Time.
Time, that's right. Time.
He's always in different places in different times.
Okay. Drazzle, you have any insight on what's going on here?
He nods.
Okay. Is there anything you can tell us that would help?
He shrugs.
Okay. I don't even know if I have enough information to ask a question.
Okay. I guess, well, given the party is lacking in information, I think it's just time to start going around and go, well, if no one else here knows anything, let's hit the tavern and ask around town.
Okay, so walking into the tavern, you encounter other people after standing and milling in the open square of town, which is the only road in town, which is, well, the only place you can mingle in town.
Yeah, fair enough. Makes sense.
We mingle?
It is a one-street village.
Yeah. Hey, look, if they sell drinks, they'll just...
And you
be
walk
social.
in and they have fruit drinks.
Okay.
Everything is fruit-oriented.
Makes sense. Alright.
A lot of alcoholic.
They're not fermented fruit, then.
Oh no, they do have fermented fruit drinks here. Mainly because when you ferment it, you don't have to worry about going off as easily.
Yeah.
Because it's already off, that's the fermented process.
Yeah. So, respect local culture.
Partake.
Try it.
Talk.
Every meal comes with a flagon of your choice of type of fermented fruit.
Okay.
And they have about 20 different types on offer.
Oh, we're gonna get a sampling plate. Come on, gosh, let's all try different ones. I like this red one.
They call it something called cherry.
Something called cherry. Oh, it's just cherry.
Yeah.
Does it taste like a cherry
There's
with
not
which
a lot
I'm
of cherries around the region.
Okay. Does it taste like a cherry with which I'm familiar?
It does take a cherry that, as a player, you're familiar, but your character's never tasted it before.
Okay. What do you think?
It's
Prosper?
exotic.
It's exotic. Oh. There's 2 of them. I'll have one, you have one.
He happily munches into one,
Okay.
covering himself in what looks like gore. And happily doing so.
Okay.
You have a feeling he occasionally sucks on your staff.
No.
Alright.
We communicate telepathically.
He does find your staff tasty.
Okay. What are you tasting there, Broshka?
Sorrow.
Okay, well, there's a lot there. Okay, there is a lot there. Yeah, I'll give you that.
He does like using one-word answers for most of his things.
That's fine. What's good there about the description of how they communicate? Can magic communicate simple ideas, emotions, and images telepathically to any creature? Communicate to it. Yeah. Yeah. Makes more sense.
And if people don't understand what's happening, they may feel sorrow, happiness, joy, horror, for no particular reason, just that someone has telepathically given it to them.
Proshka likes to eavesdrop on people. But not necessarily with a positive.
I'm sure if you hear a little death from above.
Death from above. Okay.
That reminds me, Martin.
Yep.
Does Turbo, on that morning after the blood moon, where he'd been flying around, where he talked to Chauvel, does he talk again, like out loud?
Not that you've noticed.
But I heard it too, right?
You did hear it, but you were wearing a ring of that gave you the ability to understand animals on occasion. You're not sure if it was still active or not at the time you heard him.
Right. I wasn't sure whether it still had my speak with animals up at some point.
That is correct.
Mm.
You are suspicious.
Okay. I will allay my suspicions then. Because I'm presuming Chevelle has not said anything.
Chevelle does look at Chocobo a lot more than normal.
Yeah, I'm very suspicious of this bird.
I don't know. I might take that to the paladin actually, you know,
Warming up.
giving a toss about my animals. I don't know.
Again, just about your animals when they're psychotic.
So always then.
Yeah, always. I just don't show you that I actually give a toss about your animals.
So yes, as you're sitting in the what you're laughingly call an inn, there are many other people in there. What did you want to do?
I guess we just like start socializing, asking about the area, people around, people to avoid, like just trying to coax the information out, basically.
Okay, so as you start talking to people, the first thing you get every time you speak to a new person is, "Are you a Valkyrie?"
That would be cool.
And that seems to be the exact thing nearly everyone here says as you try to talk to them.
That's fair. I understand that.
Not a single one says that about Chevelle, but they say it about you.
Yeah, well, lightning. Yeah, that makes sense.
And you find most people are willing to say whatever you're asking and answer it to the best that they can. You don't even have to roll. Your sheer presence, the way you look, what you believe in, just radiates around these people, and it is one of their core beliefs is the Valkyrie.
Nice. All right.
And while you don't say you're one of their idols,
yes, I'm not going
because you don't really want to anger the actual gods here.
You know,
they are very petty.
Yeah.
And you know that for a fact.
Yep.
These, amongst all the gods of the region, these ones do not like pretenders.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to pretend. I think if they're really, really willing to just convey that information, I guess there's no harm in just asking, like, where's the first cult group that we need to...
What's the name of the cult groups here?
So I will pull out the actual thing so I can get the correct names and not make them up as I do sometimes. There are some days I will make them up every time. So the first one that they've come across is the Cult of the Crushing Wave. They have a monastery that they work out of, and they blend the elements of water and darkness.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I believe that Yodri has signed on with them.
Yodri.
Yep. The halfling you haven't met yet.
Okay.
Or not very often. Next one is the Cult of the Eternal Flame. They let's see if I've actually got the notes for there that I can actually point at as well. Andy having my things available.
That's there.
Fire Dark, I guess.
They are more on let's see if I can get to the right page that will help. They are Fire and Darkness, that is correct.
Okay, everyone's in darkness.
Yeah.
Each of the cults you were told all have darkness as one of their aspects.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So they're all darkness plus one of the other elements.
They are. So you have so the water and darkness are at Riverguard Keep. Is the place where you can find them. You can find the Darkness and Fire at the Scarlet Moon Hall, which is also the they are also a circle of druids.
Okay.
Just trying to get the actual names of them on there. I think I managed to drop some of them off in my ability to stick them together. Okay, so you've also got the Cult of the Howling Hatred with the Feathergale Knights.
Howling Hatred. Well, that'll be Air and Darkness.
And Terror and Darkness, and that is Zal has signed up with them.
Okay.
I think they do what I missed. Cult of the Black Earth. And they have the Monastery of Sacred Stone.
Cool. And we don't know the fifth one.
And the last one is Rudeth Manor, run by the Shadow Dragon.
Runeth Manor. Okay. Oh. Guess it pays to look like a Valkyrie.
They do say that Rudeth Manor will appear where it's needed, not necessarily where it's wanted.
Mm.
And if you need it, it's not always what you want.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Zal has a connection to the Cult of the Howling Hatred, so maybe we should be looking for them.
Yep, I agree.
Though you do know that Zal does know that most of their locations that she knows of is to the south of here. They do have other outposts, but rumours are that Rudeth Manor is located in this region at the moment.
Runeth Manor.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if it's close by. Alright.
It always seems to be off the main track and a road that seems to be freshly made.
I think
Just-
as long as we approach it respectfully and not.
And
as
before you know it, you're walking on a road of skulls.
I was to ask about how to find it, but okay, we've found it already.
That's what the rumours of it say, is it looks like a freshly done thing, and once you start up the path, you find that you're walking on skulls.
Interesting. Okay.
Not what I've said interesting, I said concerning.
Well, we were sent here to find it, so.
And they say that the last rumor they have in that place is those that draw or wield their weapon will not return.
Okay, well, not drawing a weapon.
Don't draw weapon.
Carrying a staff in hand, is that a good or bad
That's
thing?
considered wielding a weapon.
Okay, into the bag of holding it goes.
Though your little friend does worry about you putting it in there.
Oh,
You get a thing of worry until you
Well,
realise
the-
that you
I
really
know
do have to
Proshka-
bleed
I
on
know
it each
Proshka,
morning before you put it away.
we might run into a shadow dragon, and best
That's-
not to actually get on the wrong side of said shadow dragon. I just think we might be just better off if we respect.
But you're thinking it's more worried about the other contents of the bag?
Oh,
Getting very bloody.
when I ceased to have cut touch with it. Okay.
You're still attuned to it while it's in there, but it is on another plane of existence.
Okay.
And you do get the understanding that he's not going in that bag.
Oh no, of course not, Groshka. Is there a way of carrying a staff without putting it in? I've always found that a weird concept. How do you
Technically,
Strapped
people can
strapped
strap
across
them
your back,
across it.
yeah.
What they normally do is they tie a bit of leather around one end and around the other, and it's basically the equivalent of looping it off.
Okay, I'll do that.
Because it's done with a lot of pole arms as well.
Okay, I'll do that.
It's not
So I'm
comfortable
still
to sit
physically in contact with it, and I don't have a bag full of blood.
Yep. Because that's hard to empty once it happens.
Yeah, and Proska, don't try to unbalance it. It's bad enough having to do it this way at all. It's going to ride right on my head. God.
Okay. Does the party have any problem with heading towards Runeth Manor then?
I say we go for it.
Yep.
Okay, so you head out.
I agree. Sorry.
You head out. First question is, who does Zal ride? Zal has 3 choices. Which is the correct choice for Zal?
Artemis. My horse.
I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, no, I'm still aware that I'm only just in Artemis's good graces. The only reason why I had to go on, on Ares is because Artemis can't fly unless he suddenly decides he wants to sprout wings, so, you know, there's that. He might, I don't know.
Oh, obviously, he has not spontaneously grown wings. You would have noticed.
Yeah, I would sincerely hope so.
Okay, so you look proud and majestic upon your shimmering horse.
Good.
You have also a couple of others on horseback.
I'll be on wing.
Those of us who have to actually go on their own feet, we're not breaking their skulls as we walk on them, are
Well, you haven't reached the road yet.
we? No.
Get that.
Okay.
And then you have to choose, as you're leaving Ribbleset, are you going north or south? Which way do you feel it is?
Can I get a roll?
You can.
I was going to say west, but you know,
That's 15. What are the checkers?
15 is north, I think.
It's up to you. Which way do you think it is?
I think. Yeah, let's go north. Let's head up.
Okay, so you start heading north into the forested hills. You probably feel that it's safer to be further away from the trolls.
Fair.
Because the trolls will follow those green hills all the way down to the Nordis Ford.
Okay.
Well, forward, to be honest.
Okay.
And it takes you about half a day before you do see what was described to you. A new road coming off, heading west.
I guess we follow it.
Doesn't have any tracks or marks on it.
Doesn't it look skulls?
Looks freshly
Brand-
made.
Brand
Okay.
new.
Okay. Right.
Yep.
And as you start heading up it, I will give each of you a perception roll.
Sight.
So,
20. So that's 25.
I only got 14.
30.
okay, so it looks like Imni is quite happily riding along, enjoying the countryside, so close to home. You're literally only about a day's ride from the borders of your people.
Okay.
The grasslands is where her character comes from. What about Zal and Chauvel?
18.
Also, you're enjoying the fact that you're so close to home.
Oh.
And so close to where you killed your uncle.
I haven't been up these hills in a while. Probably about, at least 10 game years?
10 game years. What about Chauvel?
Also 18.
Also enjoying the localness of everything here, remembering the sights and the deaths.
Are you pointing at the sights to us? You know, over there.
Well, they're coming closer to it. They're almost within a day's ride of where they spent a bit of their time.
Okay.
Okay, so things that our winged elf notices as everyone seems to be shimmering while you're flying and starting to fade from view.
Oh, okay. Good. Down.
As you get closer, they seem to more solidify, and then you realize that there's no path behind them.
Okay.
So literally the road is wherever is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not necessarily on the same world.
I need to stay with the party and not be flying above them then. Okay.
Well, you think if you're in proximity, you're fine, but the further away you get, you might find yourself somewhere else. You've now stepped between the planet boundaries. And with that, Anton does recognise the party is stepping between planes, following the pathway. That wasn't mentioned last time they came here.
Okay, well, we are headed for Runeth Manor and the Shadow Dragon. This probably explains why it's a Shadow Dragon. Are we going to... Is the Shadowfell thing?
You don't think it's a Shadowfell.
Okay.
You think that you think you're stepping through the Shadowfell to get there.
Ah, we're passing through the Shadowfell to get... So we might be coming back to this world. This might be just a way to get...
Or this is on the other side of the Shadowfell.
Okay. I know it's on the other side of the Shadowfell.
The other planes.
Other planes, okay.
Could be any plane of existence.
Could be any plane. Okay.
And from what you hear, the Shadow Dragons are the planet dragons of this world. It would make sense that it stands on the border between
one world and another, yeah.
Mm.
But they're all... it's an elemental dragon,
It's
isn't
an
it?
elemental dragon, yes. So the Shadow Dragons are like a fire dragon or a water
Yeah.
dragon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought there were shadow dragons and fire dragons and water dragons then.
Each of the dragons can have a single elemental dragon. That is a little more powerful than the standard.
Oh, okay. So they're okay. So shadow dragon's not necessarily darkness. It could be, fire, for example.
Very rarely are it's fire. It's more likely to be psychic or necrotic.
Oh, I wasn't meaning that. I was meaning sort of the elements, but okay.
From this version of Shadow, it is basically entropy and darkness is the corners of what they are.
Okay.
So connecting to the Shadow, the Fey Dark or the Shadowfell, whichever version you want to use, is roughly where they come from.
Okay.
Okay, so yes, you do recognise you are no longer in the world you were.
Or in the Fadar.
You're technically straddling the Fey Dark in somewhere else.
Well, we
Okay.
keep following the path because that's probably the only safe place to go.
And
Okay.
when you notice that this has happened, the road in front of you is made of just skulls.
Mm.
Okay. And as I'm walking, am I crushing skulls beneath
You are
me?
not, but the skulls do move occasionally.
Okay. Hmm.
Stay in proximity of the party.
Yeah.
And as you come around a bend, you see a beautiful-looking manor house with a sprawling wing, a big central courtyard, what looks like a fountain.
I won't make any comments about people in their rich houses.
Okay, give me a wisdom saving throw.
That's the one I'm good at.
It's a good chance you're good at it because you're thinking you should not make this statement.
Let's see. Okay, that's just a roll by the looks of it. I'm trying to think if it's got any expertise or I can't think of a reason for it. 15 plus 9 is 24.
You feel it on your tongue and you know better to denounce the homeowners or the person who runs this area. It's also 10 o'clock, so...
Yeah, okay. I don't say anything, but the
You
thoughts,
feel like you want to.
the thoughts there.
Martin, I know you've just mentioned that it's 10 o'clock. Me and Josh are thinking of heading off soon. I'm wondering if this is a good spot.
Well, we can finish it up here as you approach the manor
Mm-hmm.
and worry about what happens at the manor next session. Because I know some people here also have to head off soon.
Yeah.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Next time we play, we are in a manor.
Yeah.
We're at the
and
You're at the manor.
at the manor.
And knowing that you're up either welcomed by or having to survive a shadow dragon.
Don't draw your weapons unless we are
Hey,
doomed anyway.
drawing or wielding a weapon is a sign of intent in most cultures.
Yeah, and Yeah.
Which is
No
why most
intention.
people's walking sticks are designed to not look like staves. Because a walking stick is different to a staff.
Yeah.
So I will say goodnight at this point, and unless you guys want to add something before I go to end credits. And you're welcome to hang on afterwards if you wish to say stuff outside of game. Okay, so I shall go to
Okay, good night all.
good night.